quick thank you to my patrons. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible, so thank you.
Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary, and welcome back to another episode of Bibliotherapy Sunday. Today we're going to talk about being in a cult. A lot of people consider fandoms or the booktube community being part of a cult. I consider just family, being part of a group of friends. Anything to anyone could be considered being part of a cult. There's some good and there's some bad to any kind of cult. So today we're going to talk about 2 recommendations to help with you navigate some of the more bad about being in a cult. Now, of course, when we talk about being in a cult, we talk about the more serious cults. You know, the ones that put you in danger, the one that changes who you are. Those kinds of cults, not the fun book-loving cult that we're in here in BookTube. So, my first recommendation today, of course, both of these recommendations come from the novel Cure, where I get just about all of my recommendations from because they're just so good. And they are actually, if you haven't seen my videos where I talk about bibliotherapy before, these recommendations from the novel Cure come from bibliotherapists. These are people, the novel Cure is written by 2 women that get paid to recommend books as therapy for a living. That's like my dream right there. So they have very good recommendations all the time. Today's recommendations, of course, are for being in a cult. And the first one is Amity Sorrow. I can't talk right now. So our first recommendation is Amity Sorrow by Peggy Riley. And this is a story about God, sex, and farming. It's an unforgettable journey into the horrors of a true It's an unforgettable journey into the horrors a true believer can inflict upon his family and what it is like to live when the end of the world doesn't come. So in this story, a mother and her daughters, Amity and Sorrow, drive for days without sleep until they crash their car in rural Oklahoma. The mother is desperate to get away from someone she's convinced will follow them wherever they go, her husband. The girls can't imagine what the world holds outside their father's polygamous compound. Help comes from an unlikely stranger, Bradley, who's a farmer grieving the loss of his wife. And Amity Sorrow is about the influence of community and learning to stand on your own. And our second recommendation today is American Pastoral by Philip Roth. Philip Roth gives us a novel of unqualified greatness that is an elegy for all 20th century's promises of prosperity, civic order, and domestic bliss. Roth's protagonist is Seymour Swede Levov, a legendary high school athlete, a devoted family man, a hard worker, the prosperous inheritor of his father's Newark glove factory, comes of age in thriving, triumphant post-war America. And then, one day in 1968, Swede's beautiful American luck deserts him. These 2 books sound absolutely amazing, and books I will need tissues for. I can't wait to find room for them in my TBR. I hope these recommendations help you today in the Bibliotherapy Sunday video on being in a cult. Now don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we have a new video coming out. As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. There's no pressure to join either. We're not that kind of a cult. But we have a ton of fun at both. Keep reading, and I love y'all to the moon and back. Bye.